A very good evening to our viewers. Thank you for joining us tonight on the evening review. My name is Toiwanja Bella. As we promised last night, tonight on the platform we are joined by Robert Shimooshili. He is a candidate for the presidential position of the Namibia Football Association ahead of the Congress, the elective Congress that is taking place this Friday in Windhoek. Robert is here to share with us his vision for the position, for the job, should he get it. So thank you very much, Chairperson. I'm calling you Chairperson because you're also Chairperson of Blue Waters Football Club.
Maybe, of course, the league.
The league also, eh?
Yes.
Oh, even better. Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Sorry for that omission. So he's also the Chairperson of the NPFL, our local Premier League. So your vision first, not vision, but what prompted you to stand, to put your hand up and say, look, I'm also available for this position?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening, Toivo. Good evening, viewers. Of course, you know, it is not my intention to stand.
Yeah.
It is a nomination made by the NFA members. Way back, since I started to serve as a chairperson of the league,
yeah,
I received this type of request for me to stand.
Okay.
To be stand by being nominated. And finally, I accepted the nomination.
Okay. So, I mean, you also accept this nomination not just because you were nominated, but because you also believe that you can bring something to the table in terms of that job. Do you have that conviction also at a personal level that you can deliver?
Yes. That is a contributory factor for me to accept.
Yeah.
Simply because I see that there's a need. And I believed in myself before any other body that I can able to deliver.
Yeah, yeah.
To deliver in terms of to taking our level of football to the next level.
Yeah.
To lay on top of the current foundation which was laid by our predecessors, and of course the need to appreciate them.
Yeah.
It's a compliment. It's a work have been done. The body is already there. You know, as a result thereof, I can promise the nation that the words will be less than action in terms of this transformation which we are referring to.
Okay. What will happen if on Friday the majority of the delegates say, Robert, you are now going to be our chairperson going forward, president? You would relinquish some of these positions that you hold so far, or how does it work?
It's obvious because it's football related. For argument's sake, if you happen to be elected as a president, which means you will be a president to everybody, you have to apply your impartial in these dealings. Of course, the NPFL, the Blue Waters, I will relinquish those two first.
Yeah.
And then I will concentrate on this one for the benefit of all, inclusive with those two.
Yeah,
yeah.
What is your track record in football? What are those things that you think put you up there as one of the best contenders for the position?
Yeah, probably I cannot say I'm a best contender. What I can say probably is that what convinced the member to believe that I'm the best contender or the best candidate for this position in terms of my track record football-wise.
Yeah.
I am originally from Oshana. I set up a third division in Oshana. I have different social clubs in Oshana whereby I utilize that one to take those youngsters from social football tournament and other social football activities. And some of them, they are in Europe as we speak. Some of them, they are on national team as we speak. Some of them, they are contesting or showcases in the Premier League. I can mention, for argument's sake, Junior Petrus. I just get him from the village soccer. And where is him now in Europe. I can say, for instance, now you have those two from Blue Water now,
Yeah.
because I take them to Blue Water where I'm associated with. But I have no problem for the others to join any other clubs in Namibia. That's not a matter. That's not matter to me. What is matter for me is only to assist the youngster. That was one of the contributing factors, probably to the members, to see that I'm a right candidate in terms of football development. We have a stadium at the north. Come to Blue Water. I joined Blue Water in 2008 as executive member. I serve there. I have, responsible for soccer. Chairperson for soccer side is a sport club. And now, as we speak, I'm the chairperson for the entirely sport club, inclusive the soccer. As you know, Blue Water, after the other EXCO member from 2008, of course, it was not ceremonial move, and it was relegated. And we bring it back within that very season. And it's doing well as we speak. There's no more infighting. The club is attracting the spectators, fans, members. Our membership drive is increasing to 1,000. And then we have attracting fan to the stadium. That was also contributing to another member to vote me or to elect me to the chairmanship of the top tier league. I play football myself to my younger age. I associate with Vietnam Rangers at the north, Moringa 11. Those are the club one can mention. And in short, that is my track record as far as football is concerned.
Wonderful.
And I serve also in NFA EXCO by virtue of me being the chairperson of NPFL.
Okay.
Yes. I was one of those who have been ousted.
I see. Yeah, so which brings me to the question that I also asked Patrick out there yesterday. He's your contender for that position, your competitor for that position. I did ask this question to say that the normalization committee will hand over the responsibility after this Congress. The responsibilities to run football in the country will be handed over to the people that are going to be elected on Friday. And there's this fear that we will go back again to the old days when infighting starts, the league collapses, there's no football for seasons after seasons. There's just that fear that we'll slip back into that mode again. If Robert Shimooshili is elected as chairperson of president, what assurances can you give us today that indeed our football is in good hands and that we are going to continue seeing football and less infighting going forward?
I can assure you there will be no such a thing under my chairmanship as a president of the association. I can give you some reference. I contribute also to the resumption of the top tier league in this country, whereby the team was divided. When I come in, some of the club owners in EXCO, I find them not talking to one another, not in the good talking terms, and I made them. So it's easy and simple. Simple because your responsibility as a president is another way as a chairperson, where you have to deal with people, deal with them in terms of guidance which you're going to give them. Your responsibility is to make sure that you guide them to the right direction. Equally, to direct them to the right direction. You have to accept, you have to tolerate people. You are working, because the infighting started with EXCO, with leadership. You have to make sure that you are working with different people with a different background, different nature, different characteristic, different interest, different understanding, different academic. They have a different, natural characteristic which you have to accommodate. And you have to tolerate them. Once you do that, you have to create also a conducive platform for them to feel part and parcel of the process, where they were going to access their right in terms of input and approach collectively as one. Once you have that one, I can assure you there will be no such, and they will prove that one before. As I give reference to top tier league and the reference to Blue Waters for argument's sake, it was not a case. but they were those infighting. But once we came in as a chairperson, zero.
Yeah.
You have to accept. We are all Namibians, we are all football leaders, and we have the same ideology in terms of what we want to achieve. In order for you to achieve that, only when you are doing it together, nobody must feel left out. Once there's such a feeling, infighting started. As a result, now you are disturbing the activities whereby the youth will suffer most, and all the football lover. As I say, our action will be more than words.
Yeah.
And those who have such a perception that there will be infighting will prove them different.
So people who ousted you from the exco the other time, they can rest assured that there will be no revenge or vengeance and coming back at them now as president of NFA.
It's the same people who nominate me. And of course they have a different target by that time.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to people like me.
Okay. Before we go for a break, what is your grand plan, Robert, for football in the country? If you were serving in the capacity of president of NFA, what is that revolutionary idea that you have for Namibian football?
It's easy. It's a transformation. You have to transform it to different level. How to do that? I can give you one example for now. For now, we have inactive league, first division and second division. Do you want to tell me that it's heavy? The answer is no. You have only one league which is active. You have to balance that. Once you balance that, you have to professionalize football in the country together, or the league, or the setup. One, or in terms of grassroots, all the regions, they must also have women as a second division, equally to women as a third division, because we have a relegation promotion. And you can only realize that once you mobilize resources. In the absence of resources, you cannot do anything. How to mobilize resources? You have to win the international community, the stakeholders like local stakeholders, central government, and the corporate here inside the country before international. Once you do that one, how to realize that? You should handle your governance in terms of accountability, transparency, fairness, and it must be a collective approach together. Once you win that, you will realize every dream which you want to achieve, which is not difficult for one to achieve. You must creating a conducive environment where you have to win back. For example, government. It will be also assistance in terms of job creation and the sustainability of such employment. It's also alleviation, registration. You have also to change the law to accommodate, to assist the government in terms of pressure, because there's a pressure for government to invest in football, to fund. Before it was the case, even though it was not sufficient, it was something. We have a Sport Act here. Sport Act levy, it's talking about levy collected or gate taking for national team. That's not sufficient enough. You have a training levy out of youth school, how they are benefiting now. We are all happy. Every Namibian is benefiting direct or indirect from sport. Not necessarily only football, but sport in general. We have to change the law in order the law to accommodate the revenue correction so that every Namibian contribute to sport. I can give you example. Tourists are coming in Namibia, but there's no sport levy. Of course, we understand the financial situation of the country. What about ourselves? Even in fishing, there's no sport levy. How to achieve that? You have only to win. You have only to give the peace of mind to the central government and all related stakeholders in order for you to approach these things collectively to realize all these things, because the benefit is for everybody. Yes.
Absolutely. We go for a break and then return with Chairman Shimooshili.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
The conversation continues on the evening review. Now, Chairman, the work that you and your team, the management team, have done at Blue Waters is actually amazing. It's the same thing that I say to Patrick Kauta, the work that they have done at African Stars. I think those are very well administered football clubs in our country. The next step in the mind of everybody is that we must now start to professionalize our league. We have this influx of Namibian footballers leaving the country, playing in just Zambia here, Botswana. South Africa used to be our main attraction, but our players are now so cheap to get, even in the leagues of Zambia and elsewhere. Perhaps partly because of money issues, where there's no enough payment for them here, there's no enough proper structures for them to also grow as footballers. Do you have any intention to professionalize football in the country? And if yes, what are some of the things that you are going to look at first to do that?
Yes, it is, as I say earlier, to professionalize is secondary. The primary task which you need to do is to set up the groundwork in terms of balancing the level of the league. As I said, the other one is active, the other one is not. That's not fair, and it is also affecting the main one. In terms of infrastructure, stadia, there's no stadium here. In terms of sponsorship, we don't have a sponsorship to come on board in order to give quality and evaluate to our league. When you start professionalizing, which means the tail should be also in line with your vision in terms of professionalizing the league. Where the player is coming from, how they were registered, it was through the international standard of e-connect or not, because it is just left, right and center. Namibia as a country is rich comparing to those countries which we're referring to. As a result, it's only that we need to adjust our capacity in order to realize that. Number one, as I say, infrastructure must be in place so that the youngster, they must showcase to the proper facility. In this case now, they are playing on the grounds, village soccer and all that, instead of proper stadium. It's not there. And the administration, if you go to, for example, to the regions, how many regions have officers to administer? Capacity, do the leader do assisted in terms of capacity building, training and development? Is not there. If you look to the office, how many regions have office? Only few, maybe one or two. And who is in that office? He cannot even able to speak and write. Did you give opportunity to train this person to know how to administer and manage football? No. You have to look into those areas. We have to look into that one in order for you to go to the secondary function of professionalize it. The leader of in Namibian football context, they are limited to people because of their population. Population is less. As a result, the football leader is also limited. Yeah. But you need to build their capacity in terms of training and development in order for them to execute. I can give you example. Sample 2. How many former players, the legend, are active in the game so far. You can have Kongo Hinjo Itokahanja. Who else own the club? Mari, perhaps from Kobabis. Who else? You can go to NFA office. Who else there? Zero. And those rented, they have been exposed. They have skills. They have experience, which they need to invest back. If you don't give them opportunities, how they will going to come on board?
Yeah.
You have to create that one. They will assist. For instance, Mohamed Oseb, Ricardo Manetti, where are they now? And if you tell them what did they acquire in South Africa during their hype time, is needed here in order for us to build the strong foundation as far as professionalism is concerned. We need to do it together. We need to have that. It's a fact. Those are the contributory factors. Those are the factors which we are going to use in order for us to realize the secondary function of professionalizing football in the country.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So it's interesting. Maybe this is not a question related very much to the Congress, but currently, what is the issue there that we don't have, that the lower leagues are inactive? Is it money? And what will happen at the end of the season when some teams are relegated from the Premier League and are supposed to go down? I mean, how will we promote?
Yeah, you see, it's money. The budget, for example, for top tier league is higher, and the little we receive from Dermalin can accommodate only this one, even though it's not sufficient. The fact is, in order for you cannot only start it for the sake of starting to impress others. You need to face the reality and the consequences thereafter. The inconvenience, exactly the same one which you're asking me for. What it will happen at the end of the season? We talk about relegation promotion. Remember, the issue of promotion and relegation is the one who caused the conflict within Namibian football.
Yes.
You remember?
Yes.
Inactive league. And we started to do the same again. That is dangerous. Before, historically, there were no active league, first division and second division, and we want to relegate the top tier league. To relegate it going where? To promote who? Is the same scenario where we find ourselves. If there's no sufficient fund, there's no sufficient fund. We have to wait until we get the sufficient funds, and then we start it concurrently, or the league.
Yeah.
It will avoid the similar scenario where we find ourselves before.
Yeah.
Which means we are in circle.
Because everybody will be scared to be relegated if they know that their chance of coming back is not there, because you're not going to be playing in that division where you are going. So people are scared to go there.
Yes, but it's clear. You relegate me to go where?
That's what I'm saying.
Because there is no active soccer there. Yeah. And of course, you relegate me, and then who to come in?
Yeah, I hear you.
Those are the facts, which we don't want the same reputation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. I think in conclusion, Robert, in the event that you do not win on Friday, and you maintain your position as chairperson of the league, and your contender, Mr. Kauta, again, hypothetically, wins the presidency, how would you describe your relationship with them? Will you work, because you are now competitors, but if after this Congress, especially if you don't win, then you still have to work with him as chairperson of the league and him as president of the Football Association. How do you envision to work with him going forward?
You see, the mentality which we as human beings we have is the same as your question. Look, I will not be a loser, and he will not be the winner. The winner will be football. What you need to do, you have to go back to your constituency and contribute as usual for the benefit of the football and the youth and the football lover in general. The relationship must be healthy. This is sport. It's not a war. And when we have been nominated, it's not for our personal interest. If one tamper with my business, I would have a problem with that. But if you win, congratulations. We wish you everything of the best. There's no way two presidents to be there. Only one. And this is a process. And remember, Namibia is a democratic country. We have to accept that. Yeah. And these are the things when you have hurt feelings, when you did not make it. you feel different. Starting accusing, what I will benefit from that? Zero. And then remember that you started in unnecessary infighting, which is not supposed to be the case. Equally, once he win as you're asking, I will congratulate him and I will assist you on any area where I am able to assist.
Yeah.
I will go back to constituency and continue business as usual.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you, Robert, for coming through.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
All the best for Friday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
That's Robert Shimooshili. He's one of the contenders for the position of NFA president that is up for taking this Friday at the Congress. Thank you for watching.